It's day 7 of the month of November in the year 2025. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning News. This bulletin is coming to you live from the News Hub here at the Sawi. We are live on Facebook as TV3 Ghana and on DSTV as channel 279. My name is George Queenie. Top of the stories is journalists covering a special operation by the Environmental Protection Authority (EPA) involved in a ghastly accident after being chased by illegal miners responding to treatment. And Ghana to receive presidential Falcon 900EX jet soon after major maintenance completed, corrosion repaired, and all required tests conducted successfully. Also coming up this morning, Ministry of Energy vows to recover all funds owed by PDS after international arbitration victory in favor of Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG. Well, we have details of these stories and many more coming up in the next 20 minutes if you spend your time with me. You can also get interactive with us. We are live on Facebook as TV3 Ghana. Let's begin from this very sad situation. A group of journalists covering a special operation by the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, were involved in a ghastly accident after being chased out by illegal miners at a ferry in the Ashanti region. Two of the journalists who were in critical condition have been receiving and responding to treatment. Media General's Ashanti regional correspondent Ibrahim Abuakar was among the team of journalists. Reporters revealed the convoy of the EPA was attacked by the illegal miners at Dodrine near Obuasi. Well, we'll follow up on this very development and bring you updates in our subsequent bulletins. And now, President John Dramani Mahama has announced the piloting of a private sector involvement in the collection of water bills, a move aimed at improving service delivery and efficiency in the Ghana Water Company. He made the comments at the short-cutting of $150 million solar for industries that is expected to provide 200 megawatts of power for the industries in Agoto of the Ningo Prampram constituency. We'll bring you this very story later in our subsequent bulletins. If you just tune in, you're watching the Morning News here on TV3. You can get interactive with us. We're live on Facebook as TV3 Ghana. And government says it will take all administrative and legal steps to recover any amounts due Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG, and the state over contractual dealings with Power Distribution Service, PDS. According to the Energy Ministry, fallout from the ECG PDS saga will not be repeated in subsequent public-private agreements.
After nearly 6 years of legal back and forth, Ghana scored a major victory in the long-running dispute between the Electricity Company of Ghana and Power Distribution Services Limited, PDS. A London-based arbitration tribunal has dismissed all claims filed by PDS, which was seeking more than $390 million in compensation after government terminated its 20-year concession to manage ECG's operations. The 2019 deal, backed by the US Millennium Challenge Corporation, was meant to inject private sector efficiency into Ghana's power distribution network. But months into the contract, government suspended the agreement, citing fraudulent payment guarantees presented by PDS. After years of arbitration, the London Tribunal dismissed all claims by PDS, upholding ECG's decision and affirming that the fraudulent guarantees invalidated the entire concession. Power Distribution Services Limited, PDS, has acknowledged the ruling of the London-based arbitration tribunal in its long-standing dispute with the Electricity Company of Ghana. In a statement issued on Wednesday, PDS said it respects the integrity of the arbitration process and confirmed that its legal team is currently reviewing the detailed decision to determine the next steps. According to the head of communications of the Energy Ministry, Richmond Roxing, the news is welcoming.
This is good news. In the first place, we shouldn't have been. We believe that if the processes commenced a couple of years back by His Excellency the President in his first term, if that administration, given that administration had continued, I'm sure that today we would have seen a better ECG, where we wouldn't have lost $190 million, and we wouldn't have been engaged in these needless legal battles.
Government says it will take all administrative and legal steps to recover any amount due the state after the court's ruling.
This kind of process will not happen again. The process where the people's personal interest, selfishness, and greed takes interest ahead of national interest should never happen. Within the period, the revenues that PDS collected are still sitting with PDS. And those monies are not for PDS. Those monies are the bona fide property of ECG. And that you have the assurances of government that every single penny with PDS will be recovered by the country.
Meanwhile, government says it has learnt lessons from the episode to guide its future public-private partnership engagements with ECG and the wider energy sector.
Away from energy, let's do some politics. The new Patriotic Party Election Committee says all party members who forfeited their membership will have their voting rights revoked and cannot reclaim their previous positions unless they complete their necessary procedures for full reinstatement. Chairman of the committee, Joe Osewusu, was speaking at a press conference at the party headquarters in Accra.
Members who have forfeited their membership under Article 391 shall be excluded from the process. Therefore, they shall not participate in or vote in the presidential election on Saturday, January. What I do know is that under the Constitution, you lose your membership when you contest against the party's candidate or you campaign for a candidate other than the party's candidate. Automatic. So the party's amnesty was specific. Anybody who has disparate proceedings or a punishment hanging on his or her head is being granted general amnesty, except those who have forfeited their membership. Specifically said, if you forfeited your membership, apply. Generally, my view has been that, well, if you forfeit your membership today, you can rejoin. You're a beginner. But until 2 years have elapsed, you do not qualify to compete for any position. So if you had a voting right and you lost your membership, you may have rejoined, but you don't return to your position. You're starting afresh.
And now Ghana will soon receive a presidential jet Falcon 900EX following an update from the Deputy Defense Minister that major maintenance works on the aircraft are advanced. And as Boja Jemfi told Parliament that the reported corrosion spot detected in the jet and other defects have been repaired. He says the aircraft will return to Ghana after all tests, including a leak test of the fuel tanks, third engine ground run, and acceptance flight are conducted. We'll bring you this very story later. Let's know what you make of previous stories that I've aired so far. We are active on Facebook as TV3 Ghana. Hopefully, read your comments and share them to the rest of the world. Now, the Awutu Senior East Member of Parliament, Phyllis Nakoyo Okuno, has insisted that she was attacked by some unknown men believed to be loyals of Mavis Hawakumsin, the former MP for that very constituency. Contradicting a recent report by the Interior Minister that she denied any attack on a convoy, Nakoyo Okuno stressed that she noticed a vehicle was followed by a V8 allegedly owned to be used by Hawakumsin. She has sent a strong message to the task force investigating the 2020 and 2024 election violence to be factual.
Remained quiet despite calls by well-meaning Ghanaians, including my constituents, who witnessed these brutal attacks. At no time did I say no attack happened. I stated emphatically to the task force that on the election day during my rounds, I noticed my convoy was being followed by a V8 vehicle, allegedly known to be used by Hawakumsin and a Nadmo pickup, which had a green government number plate. After visiting some polling stations, I decided to go home because I felt my life was in danger. So I am convinced that at the conclusion of this investigation, the truer facts will emerge. On the issue of unwillingness of persons who witnessed these acts to testify, this is entirely out of my control. There are videos to some of these attacks, and these are available for the committee to aid their work. friends of the media, does the unwillingness to eyewitness and victims to testify mean these documented acts of violence didn't happen? Even if there is records of loss of life and injuries, I would have waited for the investigations to conclude before speaking. But I cannot keep quiet over an inconclusive report, as clearly stated by our Honorable Minister for Interior during his press briefing. And officially, I have not given my written statement to the police yet due to the ill treatment during the 2020 election violence. Therefore, statements on the media are inaccurate and not mine. Let me end by saying that as the sitting member of the good people of Ewutu Senya East constituency, I consider myself a mother for all. I have therefore encouraged reconciliation and unity amongst all the rank and file of the party. And I would encourage the task force to stick to exactly what I told them for fairness and prosperity.
Nakoyo Kuno is the Member of Parliament for Ewutu Senya East, and we have the full interview when you go to our website, it's tv3news.com. And now the Ghana Revenue Authority, GRA, has set an ambitious target to significantly expand the national tax base by aiming to register 8 million new taxpayers. This will increase the total number of registered taxpayers from the current 19 million. Commissioner General of the GRA, Anthony Kwesi-Sapon, made this known at the launch of the Sustained Tax Education Program and the Modified Taxation Scheme here in Accra.
We estimate that potentially the population of this segment is about 8 million. We plan to target enrolling about 2 million potentially within the next 3 years into the tax net. If we do so with an average of 5,000 Ghana cedis per individual for 2 million people for the next 3 years, we'll be bringing into the tax net 10 billion Ghana cedis for phase 1. In the phase 2, we'll work to bring in the additional 6 million into the tax net, and that will bring in additional 30 billion Ghana cedis into the tax net. So this has a huge potential, and we believe that with the support of everyone, every Ghanaian, and with our partners, we should be increasing revenue mobilization going forward for national development.
And now to the Eastern region, and the Kwewu West Municipal Security Council has demolished unapproved structures at Nkokwo Central, identified as a hideout for miscreants. Meanwhile, the police have also arrested 17 suspects in a swoop at the same location. The joint action follows a knife stabbing incident over the weekend that resulted in the death of one person. The morning news. For more news updates, just log on to our website at 3news.com. And alternatively, you can join my colleagues Maureen Egbata and Camilla Mano at 12 on News Central. My name is Josh Quinn. In a world where you can be anything, just be kind. It costs nothing to be kind. Enjoy morning.
It's one that would have to take a very strong stance on and deal with it. Good morning to you, Beatrice.
Good morning. It's great to see you.
It's good to be
How
here.
are you doing?
I'm fine, except that I'm not happy with you this morning.
What did I do?
Oh, you're opposing me?
Yes. I have to choose.
We're supposed to be on the same side.
No, not today.
TV3 is everywhere in the world.
I know.
So you can't use location to select.
I know.
And you had a simple choice. You had to do either Summertex?
Summertex, but Summertex,
yeah, but Summertex is not
exactly,
playing.
And it's a super clash on Sunday.
Okay.
Accra Hearts of Oak and Kotoko should be able to stand against you.
Yeah, so why
on Monday rather?
Sunday. So why did you choose Hearts over Kotoko?
I can't explain, but I chose Hearts.
Well, let me explain for you. You saw the colors and you like the rainbow colors.
I love the colors though, but I was looking forward to. Well,
we can work with this. We can work with this. I mean, it's not a choice of quality or preference in terms of thinking that one is better than the other. But it's all about the super clash that is taking place on the 9th of November at 4 p.m. A very big game there taking place between Kotoko and Hearts of Oak this Sunday. And then, I mean, I expect Kotoko to beat Hearts of Oak.
Did you hear Nan last week? She said that you scored all your goals in the last game you played.
No, it doesn't.
So you should be expecting that you be scored flat.
It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. I mean, it's a game. We are playing to win. We are the better side.
Are you sure?
Yes, we are the better side.
Well, we'll wait to see on Sunday. But I'm sure by 6 p.m. we'll know our fate.
Yes, so we're building up to that game on Sunday. The sports guys will join us a bit later on this morning as they join us for that big conversation ahead of the game. But there's a lot to talk about this morning. We'll start with this morning's segment where I think we can still stay on the subject of illegal mining.
Certainly.
We can do that.
Yes.
We can stay on the subject of illegal mining. And maybe we'll leave a little room for the Hearts Kotoko as well. But the main subject is illegal mining. The update this morning, a very disturbing story, very serious story. It's about an EPA task force that were on an operation. They were closing down, targeting mainly companies or shops that were selling products or items that were being used by these illegal miners. That's the task force operation that was taking place in the Ashanti region. Now, they got to a place and they realized that there were a number of illegal miners around, engaged in illegal mining. So they tried to engage them. And like we've seen happen in times past, they were basically overpowered by these illegal miners who were wielding pump-action guns. According to the head of the EPA, she says they were wielding pump-action guns. And as a result of that, the military team that were accompanying them, even though they had arms, the analysis indicated that they could not overpower these illegal miners. So as a result of that, they had to backtrack and basically, in an attempt to flee, while fleeing, basically, they ended up having an accident, engaged in an accident, particularly the bus that was carrying some of the EPA staff and also journalists. And so the video on your screen now captures one of the journalists very injured, our own colleague as well. So you have him there with a head injury there. After they had been attended to at the hospital, our colleague Ibrahim Abubakar is also in the shot over there. He also suffered some injuries, we understand, to the chest. We see his hand as well, the wrist area, a bit of injuries here and there. There's one individual as well, Beatrice, who we are told the thigh is broken.
Yeah.
The thigh is broken, and it's a joint multimedia camera technician whom we understand suffered a thigh injury as well and also had to be attended to as well. So that is a very serious and disturbing story that we would touch on. And that will also form part of the discussion on the big issue as well. And we'll touch on the issue surrounding the PDS much later. But for this morning's segment, this is what we'll be talking about, Beatrice.
Indeed. But remember that today is a big jackpot. So if you've been playing from Monday, *439#, you've been following the prompt, choosing TV3 number 2 here on this Friday. Well, there's an opportunity for you to get 20,000 cedis. And guess what? The 20,000 cedis will be going to 3 people. The first one, of course, the winner will get 10,000. And we can say the first and second runner-up will get 5,000 each. So you have 5,000, 5,000, and then 10,000. And so you have a very big chance to get a lot of money this weekend. If you one in the course of the week, let's say 1,000 cedis, and you get 5,000, that makes it 6,000 for the weekend, right?
Yes, yes.
That's actually more than somebody's salary for the month.
Of course, it's good money, and
Yeah.
it's very simple. I mean, the thing about this that I like so much, you don't have to move out of your house. You just have to take your phone and just participate in it, and you have the chance to win 10,000. 10,000. Beatrice is doing 5,000. But you can be the winner in the final draw that takes place. And so maybe your luck is not the 5,000. The 5,000.
Yesterday, Roland was like, when you get the 10,000, blow half this weekend and use the half for another thing. I'll tell you that you have to strategize and use this money wisely, because you don't know when there will be another jackpot and whether or not you win. Yes, so remember that we're going to have the first draw just after big issues. That will be around 8:50, 9 a.m. And so, yes, just keep playing. I would always tell you here, play more than 40 times and you get the chance of getting, who knows, the 10,000 Ghana cedis. And then there would also be 5,000 each to 2 other individuals. And yes, so today is a big jackpot. And of course, Blair, you said earlier that in the course of the conversation, we'll be talking about sports. So I'm looking forward to our chances. I would take the word of the sports guys as regards which team is looking better on Sunday.
Oh, I mean, we are all going to watch the same match. It's the same match. They will just come and tell you about form. This one is doing, this one is not doing, this one is doing. It's fine. It's not a problem at all. We'll see who will win shortly. But I think we can begin with this morning segment where we give the chance to our viewers to call into the show. And the question we are asking is, what must we do decisively to deal with the subject of illegal mining? And the context is, we've heard from government over the period. We know what government is trying to do, but we've seen it play out. First, the Naimos team, you recall not too long ago, they were attacked by some residents, the Esutifi area. I mean, they massed that part of the police station, and in the end, the Naimos team had to flee that particular area as well. And now
they even damaged their property.
Yes, the car was badly damaged. The car was badly damaged, and now we are seeing it play out. You remember the IGP's task force that was disbanded shortly after. They also faced some serious resistance. And if you go back to the Nana Dankwa Baumia period also, between 2017 and 2024, we also saw that form of resistance. So that means that we need to do something a bit more drastic and a bit differently. So call into the show and share your views with us as we start with this morning's segments.
We have our first call up. Mejina joins us live on the phone now. Good morning to you, sir. It's great to have you as well today. How are you today?
Good morning. I am very happy that you have responded to my call, because you are wearing the green at House of Food.
Oh, I'm wearing your team's jersey. That's nice.
You are fantastic.
And you are beating Blaze team.
You are unique.
Yes, Regina. Thank you for calling. Just tell us what's on your mind aside from the Accra Hearts of Oak and the Asante Kotoko, the Super Clash on Sunday. Hello? It looks like we've lost Regina on the line. Please call us back and share your thoughts with us. But hello, Regina, can you hear us? Okay, we'll have to fix his line so we can hear him. Okay, we've lost him. The line is bad, but please call us back and let's hear what you think of the illegal mining issue as well. But Blair already one score against Kotoko.
Well, we'll wait for the match over the weekend, but call and share your views with us, particularly about the subject of illegal mining and what can be done differently. I mean, there are those who have already made a point that it appears we have to deploy a lot more in terms of the military, the police protection that we are providing to the anti-Galamsey task force. And also, in terms of arms, they should be heavily armed to be able to deal with some of these resistance that will come their way. But we have another caller on the line, Beatrice.
Indeed, yes. Good morning to you, sir.
Now, journalists were attacked. Have you heard any of the, how do you call them, human rights people, human rights advocates talking about it? Nobody is talking about it. But if the soldiers go there and they start shooting these miners, then those human rights people will wake up and be shouting on the top of their voices. What is that? They should ask all those human rights advocates when they are going around, the number of people are going around or the EPA are going around, they should leave them so that when the miners attack them, let's see what they will be saying. And these people are doing all these things and they started this thing. Then these advocates, human rights advocates will wake up and be shouting on the top of their voices.
So you didn't tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Journalists are being attacked and nobody is saying anything. Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name, sir? Where did you call us from?
My name is Ben. I'm calling from Mamprobi.
Mamprobi, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us. And
yes,
thank you. You can also call in. The numbers are displayed on your screen. Call in to share your thoughts with us. Perhaps you've got some ideas regarding how we can deal with this matter moving forward. The numbers on your screen, and we'll hear you out. Yes. So, Blay, yes, you were talking earlier about some of the recommendations for the men. I mean, a lot more military to be sent to the area. But I'll be surprised if any task force goes out and doesn't think that these illegal miners are armed, because it's already out that a lot of them have weapons that regular security officials don't even have. I
mean, yes, I mean, it's obviously when they are going out, they are armed, but there's a bit of the analysis that we need to pay close attention to, is the fact that there is the possibility of spontaneous resistance, which sometimes is not necessarily the arms that makes it dangerous. So if you pick the CTF area like this, it is the community people who are resisting. They are not necessarily armed. So the question is, how do you control the crowd? Are you going to be firing at them because they are resisting and don't want you to take those you've arrested? It's a bit of a challenging security situation. It's not as simple as necessarily arming them to the teeth.
That's also true. Let's go to our next caller. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. Tell us your name, where you're calling us from.
Good morning to you again. Good morning. This is Al-Hassan from Zenu Central.
Al-Hassan, yes, great to have you. Tell us what's on your mind.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. But sister, you see what is happening, and we are blaming politicians. They are part of it. But the community in which this galamsey is happening, the chiefs there, the opinions there, are the biggest problem. If the community themselves can mass up, attack securities who are to protect all of us, including them, then this fight can never be won. Let's say it. If the citizens themselves, instead of them to take charge, defend themselves, are attacking the securities, and we are here blaming politicians, though they are the kingpins buying, what do you call it, excavators and others. If the poor man that is doing this thing, who cannot import water, who can import water, who can get good, who don't have good money to go to big hospitals, they are backing those who have the money already, then we are doomed. Let's say it. I will advise that or suggest that let's go shoot and kill. They are already killing us. How long are you going to wait for them to kill us? We should go that way. They have ammunition, even the police don't have, the security don't have. That's why they're doing all this. The MP that was accused of mobilizing people, the MP doesn't come from that area. How was he able to mobilize those people? It is the communities that are doing this. I've been hearing people saying the MP mobilized the people. The actions were condemnable, but I don't see how the MP could have mobilized people outside his jurisdiction. People are not seeing that one. It's the communities themselves that are doing that. Sister, have a good day.
Thank you very much, Al-Hassan. Making a strong point there. Which is a point some other individuals have already made, that just go and shoot and kill them. But again, it's not as simple as that. There should be a way of dealing with it. Yes. Absolutely.
I mean, the shoot and kill would obviously always come with its own challenges. I mean, the fact that there's the potential or possibility of you shooting someone who may not be connected to it. And it's the reason why, I mean, due process is always the go-to in terms of dealing with some of these matters. But, I mean, the point needs to be made quite strongly that we just need to strategize and think about it properly, especially, and the point I was making before we picked the caller about the community resistance. That one is not something that you can deal with necessarily with arms, else you just have a very bloody situation on our hands, Beatrice.
Indeed. Let's go to our next caller. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you again for joining us. Your name and where you're calling us from?
Yeah, good morning. My name is Charles, calling from Bolga.
Musa?
Charles.
Ciao. Okay. Yes, sir.
Yes, yeah.
How is Bolga today?
You see this Galante issue there. Actually, I don't know what we are gaining in the Galamsey. We want the Galamsey more than our own country. The water our children are drinking. Our women are fetching the same water to cook food for us to eat. We are spoiling the water with chemicals. You understand? So I don't know. Did the chief there think of development in that particular area? If they knew very well that they don't want any development in that area, they should better tell the government that we don't need your support. Leave us to do our Galamsey. So that the government will understand them. Then, okay, take your Galamsey. When you spoil your region or your district, it's not our problem. But don't complain to the government. In case you are facing any problem, don't complain to the government. You understand? But I'm not seeing anything that we are gaining from this. Spoiling of water, spoiling of our land, killing people. See, this journalists and then the security men, they are attacking. Why? Since our best scholars said that they attack journalists and then the human rights are not talking about it. Look, you shouldn't bring that one in. Because, one, the government sent security there. The journalists are there to investigate and then bring the report to us. So if you are saying the government, the human rights people are not talking about it, I don't think it's something that we're supposed to support it. You understand?
I think the point he was making was that perhaps the human rights advocates are being hypocritical. They only talk when Galamseyers are being dealt with, but when journalists are attacked, they don't seem to talk. I think that was the understanding I got.
So why? Fine, my dear. Yes, but you should also contact them. Ask them why is it that when they always attack journalists, they don't talk about it. You are journalists. You have to ask them. You them and go there and ask them. Why is there any time they attack journalists? You don't talk about it. You understand? But when you are on radio, TV stations talking, they will not even listen to you. But send your people to go there and then ask them. Why is it that when they attack anybody about like a journalist, you don't talk about it? Is it that journalists, they are not part of the country? Or you don't have any maybe concern about the journalists in this country? When you ask them, they will tell you their mind. You understand? But we shouldn't condemn. But me, myself, I don't like the way they are attacking our people. You understand? So thank you very much.
Thank you very much for calling us from Bolga, Upper East region, right? And sharing those thoughts with us. Well, there's a message from Dr. Tutubuahin, who is one of our regular analysts. Good morning, Beatrice. You look good in the Hearts jersey. Consider becoming a supporter and an advocate. Phobia, the boys are good.
Dog Jaisa.
Ashopa. But let me remind you again, there is a jackpot today. *439#. You follow the prompt and you choose your favorite platform right here on TV3. We're giving 20,000 Ghana cedis to 3 people, just 3 individuals. We have 10,000, we have 5,000, and another 5,000. And so, yes, make sure you keep playing, and then you get the opportunity to get about 10,000 Ghana cedis for your pocket this weekend. Let's go to Eric, who joins us live from Sunyani. Eric, good morning to you. Thank you so much for calling in. Tell us what's on your mind.
You guys are looking very nice.
What did you say?
Hello? I said you guys are looking sporty this morning.
Thank you very much. Please share your thoughts with us.
Yeah. With the Galamsey, I would prefer shoot and kill. When you get these people in the water, you think you kill them. That's the only way. So the community will not get closer to the water body. How we are getting me? So my decision is shoot and kill. That's what the army should be doing. Arm them very well so that they chase these people. If you are able to kill about 2 or 3 people, everybody will still going closer to the water body. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Eric, for calling us from Sunyani and for sharing your thoughts with us. But Blair, earlier you were talking about the EPA boss, Professor Nana. I saw her yesterday leading the team there, and the fact that she's been explaining herself further. I'm sure we'll get to watch her later in the course of, I believe, Big Issues.
Yes, I mean, she basically explains the operation they were undertaking, the fact that they had decided that they were going to target some of these businessmen who are operating and supplying various items that are being used. So, for instance, a couple of days ago, they shut down a champagne producing company, a company that was assembling the champagne machines. You know, they are brought in parts. And so that's what they were doing in terms of this particular exercise. And when they got to one area, they just saw that very close to the roadside, they saw people who were engaged in illegal mining. In fact, he says that the excavator was in the water, a water body.
Can you imagine? The
excavator was in the water body. So they got closer. Then they realized that there were more of them within that enclave. And so they tried to engage them. And then subsequently, before they realized, a lot of people kept coming in. Some of them were heavily built, armed, wearing CID vests. They simply refused to show any identification and threatened to fire. So eventually, their team decided to beat the retreat and try to flee. And they received calls from various national security operatives here in Accra about the fact that they might have to change the direction they are using to head back to their destination because intelligence they had picked was that it was simply not safe.
Yeah.
And so in trying to do so while they were fleeing, then the head-on collision happened.
I mean,
very unfortunate.
Every time I hear these stories, I just remember one word that the NGOs in environment have said or have used, which is environmental terrorists. Because if they are really preventing the official guys from going to do their business and protecting the environment, really, that's who they are. Let's go on the phone lines again. We have another caller joining us. Good morning to you, sir. Tell us your name, where you're calling us from. What's on your mind?
Morning once again. I'm Frederick. I'm calling from Ashama, Lebanon.
Yes, sir. Good morning to you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you also for having me. My greetings to you and your viewers as well. I want to comment on the attack on the security operatives. You know, my suggestion is very simple. The military should send a detachment of soldiers to that town. Go and beat all the people in the town. They should only single out the kids and the women. And that will send some kind of urgency into them that if you joke with the Emerimaba that we used to know, you will not go scot-free.
That's not right.
At least when they attack, they should go and attack them. They should forget about the human rights because people are talking about the state of emergency. And when the state of emergency comes, this is what will happen. So we are going to do it in a semi-state of emergency. You food, they do with you. Just like Ashama. Formerly, when we were growing up, before we say Jack, that the town is being run up by soldiers from 1 BN, and you will take it whether you commit or not. And that has been some kind of discipline in Ashama enclave during those times. So that same tactics could be employed to the Galamsey prone areas to let them know that they cannot be fooling just because they have right. Where their right ends is where somebody else's right commence. So that's all that I want to say this morning.
Thank you very much for calling us from Ashaiman, but it's not right for the soldiers to go and beat the community people. They are supposed to deal with the problem dealing with it as well as respecting human rights at the same time. So it will not be right for them to go and be the people there. But thank you for calling in and for sharing your views with us.
We can do some messages that have come through our various platforms. This one here from Kofi Kwatin, Kofi Kwatin Amanin Kokro. You say that I believe we have reached a point where the state of emergency the president talked about must be declared. If we don't act swiftly, we risk escalating the situation, potentially leading to Delta Basin rebel action in Nigeria, similar to the Boko Haram insurgency. It's imprudent for people engaged in illegal activities to confront military officers and for the officers to flee. We can't continue this way. This one here also from Prince Nana York here. You say, good morning, Joy and Beatrice. I'm deeply saddened that whenever we suggest a shoot-to-kill policy, critics immediately invoke human rights concerns. These individuals are armed eco-terrorists. With decisive action, we must confront them aggressively. We've been far too lenient. True protection of the environment demands uncompromising measures against those who weaponize it. God bless our homeland. Ghana is the message that you add over there as well. And so that is the message. Prince Henry from Koforidua, you say that please tell B that he's supporting a losing team. Prince, I agree with you 100%.
Let's go on this note. We have to go to Tamale. We have Joseph joining us from, actually, let's go to Teshi right here in Accra. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you so much for calling in on the program. Tell us what's on your mind.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning, sir.
Lady, you are supporting the right team.
Thank you very much.
Your team is a loser. That's on the low side. I want to contribute to this morning's show.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
I want to ask our leaders: are they waiting for another disaster to happen before they take drastic action against these galanciers? Because we lost 8 solid men, and it's purposely because of this galancier. And these things, they are dealing with the whole thing. How can we have soldiers here in Burma camp, even Burma camp alone, if they are to take half of them, they can solve this problem within 3 days. But this one, you are sending people on these missions. I listened to the lady yesterday on TV, and she was complaining. That means they went to some few security men. How can they be going to this bush where they know there are some brave men out there, and they will be carrying like 2 or 3 security men along? We are putting their lives in danger. I beg our president to take drastic action. This thing, we are doing kokosa. Yesterday, if not because of God, we lost those people too. Then we say, after the funeral, we'll do so and so. But I think the actions are not the best. We have to stand up with this thing. Let's get soldiers. Because we know soldiers can do this thing. Let's get them there and fight these people. We take 2-3 days, they will be out of the bush. With this thing, we are dealing with the whole issue. We'll be doing it. I can see that maybe some of the NDC leaders are also accomplished. They are part of it. Because listening to what happened the last time, that means our leaders are part of it. And we beg our president to put his feet down and solve this thing. If he didn't solve this thing within this year and next year, that is all. Then Ghana, we are doomed. We beg him. He needs to stand up for this thing and solve the problem once and for all. But I can see that we are just joking with the whole thing. We want another disaster to happen. We lost 10 or 3 people in addition before we stand up to do it. But I beg, TV3, you people can do this thing for us. You should I love the way you are doing it, but I want it more so that the leaders can hear what we are saying that we can see that they are not fighting the thing the way they can do it. Therefore, get soldiers out there and do this thing for us. I beg. Thank you.
Thank you so much for calling us from Teshi. I think I agree with him. I mean, looking at the danger involved, we should be sending a lot more people than just a few people who would eventually have to move away because the force is stronger than what they came with. Yes, but there's a world-class university right here in Ghana, Rosebank International University, a strong South African university and a brand of the ADV Tech Group, Africa's largest private education provider with 146 schools across 5 African countries and over 100,000 learners, and partly owned by the World Bank through the IFC. Rosebank International University is fully accredited by the South African Qualifications Authority, the British Accreditation Council, GTEC in Ghana, City Guild UK and Capsicum Culinary Studio. At Rosebank International University, we offer a Doctor of Business Administration, MBA, Master of Science and Master of Philosophy in Digital Marketing, Bachelor of Supply Chain Management, targeting professionals in freight forwarding, customs, etc. Remember that we also offer hospitality and culinary arts available at diploma, undergraduate and postgraduate levels. ICT has BSc Information Technology in Business Systems and IT Computer Application Development, all carefully designed to equip you with the skills and qualifications needed for a successful global career. Our mission is simple: inspiring excellence. Admissions are now open for January 2026. You can visit our modern campus at Airport Commercial or Pebia House, Accra, or apply online at www.riuc.edu.gh. Rosebank International University, building global citizens.
Some more messages are coming through, but we still have another caller.
Yes, we still have another call on the line. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you so much for calling in. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from. Hi.
My name is Mustafa.
Mustafa, yes, sir.
From Baku.
Yes, sir. How is Baku this morning?
Baku is fine.
Great. Tell us what's on your mind.
My mind is about the Galamsey problem. No?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Those people that it's too much. They should send them to that place where those big men know. They should send them where the water is. They should send them to the water. They should drink the water. They should drink the water. So that if they also affect the disease, affect them. Because those who are using, they don't want. Yeah, because people who are taking those water, it affects them. And then the government also spend a lot of money to fix them.
Hello, sir.
And imagine some...
Okay, I'm sorry, we lost him on the line there, but thank you very much for calling in and sharing your views with us. Yes, play.
Yes, a number of messages coming through the various portals. Good morning, Joe. Tell Edu we will humiliate the team come Sunday in their own backyard. A lot of you are very much interested in the football conversation. A very good friend of mine, you sent this message. You say that, can you imagine, you sent me a message and you're saying that Akable is rather supporting a losing team. I hope your European team is not us now.
Your friend is very bold for him to send you that.
Commander, good morning. Chief Superintendent Freeman Tete of the Judicial Protection Unit. I don't support Arsenal. I support Barcelona and Kumasi Asante Kotoko. But don't worry.
Mr. Tete,
he's my good friend, so I'll forgive him on this one.
Yeah, me too. I hope you support Arsenal. Yes. Let's go to Haji Halima, joining us from Medina. Good morning to you, ma'am. Thank you again for calling in this morning. Tell us what's on your mind today.
Good morning, my sister. I'm still passing through you. Please, if you meet President Mahama, tell him that Haji Halima is waiting for an appointment letter. So that when I get the appointment, yesterday I heard Roland saying that if I get the appointment,
you
I
should come and tell us.
How can I forget you? While you pass and climb, you have to pass there and descend, or else you break your leg. So if the appointment comes, definitely I'm going along with you.
How did I tell us what you
think? Let me say good morning to the president of the land, the good work he's doing for Mother Ghana, and the vice president, our mother, Nana Jane Opoku Ajimai. We thank them for what they are doing. My sister, about Galamsey in this country, I wonder, and sometimes I feel pity for ourselves. Ghanaians, have we become too money lovers than our own health and our own self in future? What at all is worrying us? What at all? Formerly, we said it is Chinese people who are destroying. But if you delve in deep, you see that our own Ghanaian people are doing the same thing. Destroying the land, destroying our water bodies. My sister, today, you come by. When was the last time you went to market and see mankind, cocoyam, mankind? You won't see mankind because mankind used to come from cocoa farms. And all the cocoa farms have been destroyed. So today, if you want to eat in Peru, mankind Peru.
Oh, we've lost Hajia. And thank you very much for calling in and sharing those thoughts with us. But let's show you really how the attack happened, which eventually led to some injuries as well. And we earlier told you two journalists, a cameraman from Multimedia Group, and also our own reporter, Ibrahim Abubakar. So we're just showing you really how it happened on your screens.
Oh, no way. Oji, mo máa ń gbọ́ ìnáká mi kò. Ìnáká mi. Àwọn ọmọ sọ wọn àjọ ní different kind. Ẹnna yẹn nkọ. Yẹn nkọ. Àjọ tí a ní máa. Oh, no way. Oji, mo máa ń gbọ́ ìnáká mi kò. Ìnáká mi. Àwọn ọmọ sọ wọn àjọ ní different kind. Ẹnna yẹn nkọ. Yẹn nkọ.
So we just showed you just a bit of really what happened. And yes, in the course of the program, like you heard Blaise say, we'll go into details, especially on the big issue, and bring you some more information and really seek some answers regarding the way forward. But we have Richard Kumado on the line, right?
Yes, Richard Kumado is a fraud and security consultant, a regular contributor on this show. Good morning, Mr. Kumado.
Good morning, Akabi.
I mean, watching what is playing out and what played out yesterday, I mean, the question that one cannot help but ask is that it does appear that there's a very different dimension to this fight that we may not have paid attention to the start, especially the point I was making earlier on about the fact that we are seeing communal resistance. A lot of the times when we say that we want our security forces to be armed to the teeth, to go out there, we ignore the fact that the spontaneity of the situation, the community people, and those are people that you cannot necessarily deal with arms just because you have them. They may not necessarily have arms, but they have the numbers. It calls into question how we should approach this. What are your initial thoughts and substantively how we should approach this new dimension, if I can put it that way, to the fight?
So number one, what we are talking about let me say that there has to be a new strategy in fighting the menace of inappropriate mining in this country. NAMOS will have to review their methodology, and all the agencies involved, the EPA, the Forestry Commission, NAMOS themselves, the Lands Commission, the Lands Ministry, and almost all the agencies within the contingent that has been put together in the fight against inappropriate mining. We will need to have a new strategy. The way we are going about it, there are going to be a bit more casualties on our hands if care is not taken. You remember Madam Hanabisu was ambushed. We didn't do anything about it. The NAMOS themselves was attacked. And then we took a minimal force. Then my own professor, we have only few of them. She's a distinguished professor. Only few of them are in this country and across the globe. Professor Nana Ama Brown-Kruche was attacked. Then others got injured. Overall, we need to look at the strategy again. But the agencies themselves, I think the interagency collaboration will need to come back again. They will need to streamline their operations and their fieldwork in a manner that helps them to achieve results on a straight line basis, in a manner that ensures that safety and security guarantees and compliance are achieved. Other than that, there are two likely things that will happen: entrapment and entanglement. Now, once they are entrapped and they are entangled, if care is not taken, it may lead to casualties on both sides.
And one thing that we also see play out is the fact that they are armed. And a bit later on, we'll hear from the EPA boss who detailed how the initial resistance, the men who came, were armed to the extent that the military and national security operatives that were accompanying the EPA team, they decided that they could not overpower them, and so they had to retreat. We saw that also play out in the Sutifi area as well. I mean, that is disturbing. It doesn't sound too well when ordinary people hear that our soldiers had to beat a retreat because people were armed such that they couldn't overpower them.
You see, lack of preparation is what I saw, and inadequate resources is also what I saw. The security communication itself is very problematic. And I think government communicators will need to wake up to their responsibilities. There's a whole lot of misconception and miscommunication and misinformation around the issues of inappropriate mining and galamsey for that matter. So if the communication is not being done properly, then certain words are being used that are not correct, you are giving credence to the fact that they can take on your army, they can take on your police, and people will walk away free. There are certain specific persons who spoke, and there are certain choice of work that has gone ahead of this fight or these exercises in the field. And it is that is giving credence to certain people to do the very things they are doing. And that is why we say that security communication is very important. And the manner we prepare into the field is also very important. Proper preparation will always prevent poor performance. I can tell you for a fact that there's no militia group in this country that can overpower our military. Not even the special forces within the Ghana Police Service. If you look at it critically and you ask me to put my neck on the field, I would say that it's not the duty and the responsibility of the only professor we have in physics, if not only. The only few professors we have in physics heading the EPA, considering the fact that she has come under fire recently because people were angry, she was doing foreign purchases and not local. And instead of them sticking their neck out and speak about procurement, they went about insulting her. I wouldn't put her in the field in the manner they did. And even if she's going to the field, it means that the levels of risks attached to her is very high. One of the issues I'm also seeing in the divergence of what they are doing is that they are not taking the risk assessment report we gave very seriously. For 5 years, we have done the nationwide national risk assessment, taking galamsey as a menace and as a threat to the state. Once you overlook the risk assessment report, once you are not preparing properly, and once you are not using the local security intelligence community properly, you are likely to come under some level of entanglement or entrapment. And that is exactly what is happening. And that is exactly what we are seeing. I'm saying that when Hanabisu was ambushed, the president of the Republic of Ghana called all the teams to his office. And they have a very beautiful meeting. By December, when they are breaking, the president will need to have that same meeting with all the agencies in the fight against Galamsey. Let them establish their strengths and weaknesses. Let them critically look at the threat and the manner in which it's playing out there. And let them evaluate the resources they have. And let them examine the interagency collaborations again. Once you are not making use of all these tools at your disposal, then what we are saying is that you are going to have difficulties. And you don't need a prophet or a soothsayer to tell you. So it's unfortunate as it is, but these are law enforcement officers, and they know what to do. Once you have too many civilians within the area, and they wouldn't, listen to the law enforcement officers or allow them to lead, you are going to have some of these problems on our hand. But that does not mean that the law enforcement officers are weak and they don't know what to do. Once you also make the whole thing look like you pull in and you pull out, and you are playing hide and seek, and you are not showing presence and strength, then of course you are rationalizing bad behavior. And to the extent that people will commit crimes against the state and they will be let to go, no punishable of offenses will always rationalize bad behavior and promote antisocial tendencies. So I can believe this is where we are, and I think it can be fixed. The point I'm making is that yes, there will be challenges, yes, there will be hindrances, yes, there will be impediments, yes, there will be one or two hiccups and setbacks, but so far, none must have done well. If the agencies can rally and they come to the same page and know that this is what is set for them to do, they will mobilize themselves and prepare properly, because if they don't prepare, then some other onlookers might be waiting for them and they can take them on.
Maybe more directly on the community resistance that we are seeing outside the illegal miners. I mean, what should the approach be? Because we obviously cannot be arresting a lot of those people. A lot of the time it's more like a spontaneous protest that takes place. And it also does appear that the communities where the illegal mining is taking place, those residents support the illegal miners as against what appears to be the outside and general national conversation that this is something that we have to stop once and for all.
I can believe two things. You wake up in the morning and they said Ghana has been attacked by terrorists, and there are a group of people who support them. You think the Ghana army will be waiting and fold their arms? You see the counter-terrorism unit of the Ghana Police Service and that of the immigration guys. You think the specialized forces within the police, the BNI and the military will be seeking to say that some communities support them? No. We are not doing it properly, and we keep running around the whole circle, and we are using the wrong approach, and we are using the wrong communications, and I think we are just disturbing the ears of everybody. When you look at what happened and what they did, I saw a guy throwing something at the convoy, and I don't know who gave the determination that the convoy to speed up, for which they got themselves in an accident. Then you ask yourself, who were the guys behind the wheel? When they were moving in, did they not anticipate some of these insurgencies and some of these emergencies? Which of the communities are this money taking place? Do we not have intelligence officers? Is the BNI not in every community in this country? Is the BNI officers being used to full capacity? When we arrest people, don't we send them to the police? Is the police taking a leading role in the communities when we are doing, whether we are doing searches or we are picking up items that we think are destroying the water bodies? At the end of the day, when we enter the communities, what is the type of preparedness do we see on the part of the law enforcement officers? The point I'm making is that if we give credence that there are communities that support the illegal mining, and so to that extent, the law enforcement officers are going to conjure some level of magic because they support it, and we shouldn't go and do what we are meant to do as law enforcement officers. We will keep on going around this whole thing, and it will become a political show. And once you have politics taking the front line, instead of we dealing with it in a manner that gives results, in a manner that ensures safety and security, in a manner that ensures that the national sovereignty guarantees are achieved, and in a manner that shows that it's not any window dressing we are doing, then we will not get the results. Other than that, there are better ways of doing it. And I think we are lacking behind, and we can do far better than what we are doing.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kumado. We'll leave it here for now, but this is a conversation that will continue on big issue. We'll deal a bit more into detail with it and just assess the overall approach in dealing with this matter and ending it once and for all. We'll also hear from the EPA boss, that interview, so that you will just understand exactly what happened and why the accident occurred as well. And they are very useful lessons that we can draw from her narration once we'll hear from her quite shortly. That will be coming up on the big issue, Beatrice.
Yes, but ahead of that, hunger can strike at any time. But Royal King Cracker is always on standby when you need it. Something enjoyable to munch on. Royal King Cracker brings the crunch and buttery taste. It fits right into your day, morning, noon, or night. Royal King Cracker, choke your hunger. Just grab one and enjoy. This advert is FDA approved. And remember that we said that we're giving out, today is a jackpot day, 20,000 Ghana cedis to 3 individuals. One will get 10,000. That will depend on how often or how many times you play. Another will get 5,000, and the third will also get 5,000 Ghana cedis. And there's actually option 8. I believe that you have to choose for this special play so that you know you're playing right and you have the chances of getting that 10,000 or 5,000 or another 5,000 cedis just to 3 individuals. That's 20,000 Ghana cedis. And you're still here on Newday on TV3. When we come back, we'll bring you the big issue.
Gargantuan cash outs, Friday, November 7th, 2025. Mark your calendars for the biggest
Thank you for staying with us here on New Day on TV3. It's time for the big issue, and we'll start the conversation with the disturbing news that took place in the Ashanti region about how an EPA task force was attacked by illegal miners, and we know that they had to flee and running away, basically. There was an accident that has resulted in injury to some of our colleagues. Two of them are in a very serious condition. One, we are told, has a broken thigh. What I want us to do at this point is to listen to the EPA boss, Professor Kluche. A very important interview she granted to my colleague Alfredo Kansi last night. And what I want you to pay attention to closely is first, the mission the team was engaged in. Secondly, how the team was confronted by some armed individuals. Some had CID vests, and pay attention to how she details the extent of arms they were wielding, such that the military and national security operatives that were protecting the task force took the decision that they want to beat a retreat. They had to basically move away. And also the communal involvement. Those in the community also participated. They pelted stones at the cars. We showed you a bit of that video. We'll bring back that video as well and show you how that happened. And the fourth point she makes is about intelligence that they had picked when they were leaving, about the fact that they could not use the roads that they had used while going to the place because of a possibility of attack that had been more or less hatched, waiting for them on the way. So they had to use alternate routes. And the accident that happened, the car that they had the head-on collision with was also carrying some items for those illegal miners. Look, just pay close attention to this interview. Very important. Let's listen to the EPA boss talk about what exactly happened yesterday.
We want to establish a bit more detail on exactly what happened beyond this preliminary information that we've gotten. Unfortunately, Professor Nanama Brown Kluche heads the Environmental Protection Authority. She's joining us on Zoom right now. Prof. Kluche, good evening. Thank you for joining us here on Ghana Tonight.
Good evening, sir. Thanks for having me.
A very troubling and worrying development. And first off, let's establish how my colleague journalists are doing right now, those who are in the hospital.
Yeah, thank you very much. We thank God that we all have our lives now. It's just unfortunate that we have some injuries. As I said, the most critical one is a broken tie, which is one of the Joy TV cameraman who had a broken tie. Your correspondent, Abubakar, had he had chest pains and he is responding to treatment. Adom TV correspondent, that's Joseph with a head injury. He's also responding to treatment. Then we have some EPA staff who were also involved in the accident. They are all responding to treatment, and we have discussed it with the doctors and nurses in charge to pay special attention to them, because we were on a national assignment before this unfortunate incident happened. Yeah, so as the operation we started yesterday, it's a 3-week plan that the EPA has to ensure, especially the services that others provide for mining in our water bodies, which is illegal. We plan to tackle that aspect as well. So we realize that it's not just enough to say stop mining in the river bodies, but again, we saw that we needed to deal with the suppliers. So we took over the shops, closed down many shops at the Arian Kwanta, as I narrated yesterday. So today we were on another route to close down some other shops. On our way near Obuase, we saw people on the ground, the Galamsey happening on the ground. So we decided to have a look at what they were doing. When we stopped and walked into the area, in fact, where they're actually mining, they have access routes, so we had to stop by the roadside and walk to the ground, the field where they are mining. So as we were going closer, they were running away, and they did, all of them left by the time we got there. So we looked around what we could pick. We did pick whilst leaving, we saw that there were actually more of the excavators, 3 of the excavators that is inside a river body.
Inside?
So, inside river body. So in fact, they had mined in the river body and blocked the river in such a way that it has taken different tributaries around the area and flooded some places. It's messy. It was really a bad situation. So we actually went to the car and used another route to the place. And whilst there, the people also ran. We called them to come, and then just before we could even have a conversation, they had sent news around, and so we saw built men, a number of them came with guns. We had the military with us anyway, and the national security also were with us. But then we saw that we couldn't exchange fire, so we could not fight them. So we had to run for our lives. So in the course of we running, speeding on the road, we encountered this accident. So one of the cars, which had some EPA staff and some of the journalists, had a head-on collision with a truck that is actually carrying some pipes for Galamsey, these Galamsey operations. We saw some of them on the field. So they had a head-on collision, and we had the injuries that they are now at the hospitals and attending to treatment.
I see. So you're indeed confirming that you were attacked by Galamsey operators. I mean, we say well-built, heavily armed people.
Yes. So, yeah. So some of them were dressed in black, like complete black from top to down, and some of them were wearing vests like this with CID written at the back. We asked them, in fact, the soldiers, the national security men, asked them of their ID card and stuff like that. So it was becoming confrontational, and then we had to leave because we couldn't. They said they cannot overpower them, so we had to leave. They had their arms, but we didn't. Of course, EPA doesn't. We didn't have, so we had to run.
I see. Now, what prompted the decision to run? Were they attempting to fire at you or attack you?
Yeah. So whilst they were having the confrontation, we got intel. So I got a phone call from Accra that we should leave immediately where we are, and that even the route we plan to take, we should not use it again, and we should not return on the same route we came from Kumasi to Obuasi. So we had to use another route altogether, much longer through Central region, through Western region, and then back to Kumasi. But just before we reached Kumasi is when we had a head-on collision.
And this change in route, as a result of that call you got, was because intelligence had been picked that you could possibly be attacked if you used the same route you came?
Yes. So as I received the call, the national security operators also had a similar call. So they were giving us feedback as they drove right in front of my vehicle, and we had one driving 2 vehicles behind. So we got phone calls from different sources, but all from the national security, that picking intel that where we are is not safe, and that we had to take cover immediately.
This is troubling. And you say that you saw some of these heavily built men wielding weapons. They were wearing vests with CID written at the back of it?
Yeah, with guns. In fact, pump action, they said.
And they refused to produce an ID to authenticate whether they are indeed CID officials?
Yeah, they didn't have any ID to identify themselves as security agents.
And the military personnel that you were with, were they armed?
Yeah, some had guns with them, but not all of them. But then when they assessed the situation, they knew we cannot exchange like that, so we had to move.
Indeed, obviously, because with what you're describing, you were outnumbered. Correct.
Exactly.
And with the people that, because of the intel you had gotten, and the word that had gone out, that
yeah. And actually, the longer we stayed, the more they came. So
wow.
then, yeah, we had to leave almost immediately. We saw those signals and received the calls.
I see. But these persons who were wearing the CID vest, were they with the illegal miners?
I would say yes, because they asked the illegal miners, they were in their Wellington boots.
Right.
I mean, the illegal miners came in their Wellington boots on motorbikes. And these built-up men were in like normal military boots with their guns and their black outfits and the vests.
I see. Now, and they refused to, even with the interrogation from the military personnel you were with, they didn't want to cooperate. They didn't want to give the information as you were asking for.
Yeah, not at all. They couldn't produce any ID cards or any identification.
I see. And just based on that, the trail of information that you got, which led to you changing your course and taking a different course, is it to say that you were on some top speed because of the fear of your own life? Reason why it led to this coalition? Let's understand what led to this head-on coalition.
Okay, so we drove in a number of vehicles. The national security were ahead, were the lead vehicle, and my vehicle followed. So we had to go, it's let's say, a number of vehicles in a convoy. So we had to move at the pace the national security operators are moving. So we couldn't help it. We had to just go.
I thank you, Prof, for this. And before I let you go, the other colleague of mine, you say, has a broken tie. What's the extent of the injury? Do you know?
Yeah, I learned from the doctors that it's broken and position of, so it's broken and position changed as well. So they assessed the situation, and I learned they can fix it even here in Ghana. But I got the assurance from the presidency that if it cannot be fixed in Ghana, they are ready to send him out of the country to get it fixed.
You've been on this operation, as you indicated, for a number of days now. In fact, a couple of days you closed down a whole Chamfang manufacturing company. They were fabricating Chamfangs in this country.
Yeah.
Chinese.
Yes. Yeah, so in the warehouses where the water pumps, the champagne engines, the water hose, the mats, or they call it blankets that they use to capture gold when they are washing. Mm-hmm. And in the same warehouse, they do the fabrication of the washer. That is the metal that they wash the gold on in the warehouses. Some are doing it in the front, and then of course we have some Ghanaian-owned mechanic shop that also do this fabrication. But the fabrication of these washers or this metal structure is illegal in the country. We're not supposed to have that done. I saw a Ghanaian in his shop, and I asked him if he knows that what they fabricate is illegal. He said he doesn't know. So we did education for him, and then we asked him to dismantle the whole structure and not to go back to it. So even when we saw Ghanaians, we still dealt with it. We had our mechanics also with us. So when the shop owner is not there, we do the cutting ourselves, and then we leave.
Prof, I do appreciate you spending some time with us, and we'll touch base again tomorrow to get an update on the well-being of the journalists and your team as well, who were affected as a result of this accident. Thank you.
That's my colleague Alfredo Kanse speaking in that interview with Professor Nana Ama Brown Kluche, who heads the Environmental Protection Authority, detailing what exactly happened yesterday. And yes, we have checked, and our colleagues are in much better condition than yesterday. We do wish them a speedy recovery for that very unfortunate incident. I want us to watch a short video clip that we got from some of the journalists on board the bus just watch and listen to what was transpiring. You should pay attention to something. The cars are coming from the road on the left-hand side, and you see one of the community people pelting stones at the car, and you see all of a sudden they will have to start moving very fast. Let's watch this.
Oh, no way. Oji, mo máa ń pẹ́ ìnáká mi kò. Ìnáká mi rẹ̀. Mo sọ wọn àjọ ẹni ti tẹ́ ń kà yìí. Ẹnlẹ̀ yẹn ń kọ. Yẹn kọ. Yẹn kọ. Oh, no way. Oji, mo máa ń pẹ́ ìnáká mi kò. Ìnáká mi rẹ̀. Mo sọ wọn àjọ ẹni ti tẹ́ ń kà yìí. Ẹnlẹ̀ yẹn ń kọ. Yẹn kọ.
Let me introduce you to my guest in the studio now. Issa Atta is MP for Sanerugu. Thank you for joining us this morning. Thank you for the opportunity. Kwame Jantua is a legal practitioner, member of the Convention People's Party, and energy analyst as well. Senior, thank you for joining us as always.
Good morning, Baby Council.
Good morning, Senior. Also joining us in the studio is Ebo Bachman. Ebo Bachman is Deputy Communications Director for the United Party. I heard Senior asking him earlier on, why UP? Ebo had that reaction of, now I launched that I don't know. I feel I'll be something say, why UP? Ebo, good to have you as always.
It's always
Prof is next to me as always. Professor Enoch Opokwentry is a governance and policy analyst, and Prof has a large fan base in Virginia. He doesn't even know the Virginia people. They're always sending me messages about Prof. Prof, good morning.
Morning, Aka. It's always a pleasure to be here. Greetings to our viewers everywhere in the world.
You have a message for us this morning?
Yes, I have a message for two individuals. I like an attitude of Ghanaians, the youth. I've seen about 5 situations where somebody's car have got into the gutter or has got, and then the youth will mobilize themselves quickly and come and help. I like it so much. It's a very positive attitude. They should keep it up. Then I'm also recommending trotro drivers. Yesterday, somebody got stuck at Oponglo to Kaneshi, and now the Ubers are very expensive. So the person said $96 cedis, but the trotro took 8 cedis. So I want to say that these trotro drivers are really helping Ghanaian economy, especially the middle class and the lower class. So the government should do whatever it can to support them in many ways.
The middle class take trotro.
Yes, middle class will take trotro.
The lower middle class, I guess. The lower middle class. Yes, but they are very. Yes, I mean they are very important. I agree with him on the importance to the economy when it becomes necessary. Like Ebo said, yes.
Oh yes, I have.
Yes, when it becomes necessary. There are some places that if you do the ride hailing in and out, your money will get finished. Yeah. And the challenge that I see these days, especially around 5 p.m., you have a lot of people who are at these bus terminals and the cars are basically not around because I guess the traffic situation, they are not moving and coming back quickly. So very important part of our whole transport infrastructure. You want to say something?
I took my car to the mechanic and I was supposed to go for it. And I decided, try trotro. And I sat in the trotro. Those who recognized me were wondering, what is this man doing, this trotro? Then one of them took initiative and tapped my shoulder. Said, are you Mr. Jantua? I said, yes. Are you the one who comes on TV3? I said, yes. Oh, sir, trotro here. But I took the trotro. You know why I took the trotro? I wanted to hear conversations that people have in the trotro. And so sometimes, if we try to take trotro, it becomes a challenge. As much as it's just a means of transportation. But not a lot of people. This is why some of us say the public transport system should be put in place. An effective one. A one that is graduated. You have those high price, those who can afford, middle, and then down. And you see, and one of the major challenges is that we have crowded the roads, so we can't even expand the roads for roadways, for special routes for public transport. It is something we should try and do.
Absolutely.
As for me,
Absolutely.
I have a lot to say about Cape Coast Technical University. I think at the right time.
Yes, I think some time ago you raised some issues about
Cape
what's
Coast
going on
Technical
there.
University. I have a lot of things to say about that area.
Okay.
A certain mafia is taking over the institution and they are doing whatever they like.
Oh, and congratulations to our rivals.
We'll deal with it.
Fanspin for winning. Yes.
They beat us Opokuwari. We've been in the finals for the past 23 years. We've been in the finals 9 times. This is the 10th time.
Yes.
We've won only 2 of them.
They beat us at the quarterfinals too.
Okay.
At this school.
All right, so congrats to Infanspin there.
The Papa boys.
And kudos to the Opokuwari Akatechie boys. We are behind. We are Akatechie. We are always in front of the walls. We will come back again next year powerfully.
We will all come back again next year.
I want to start our discussion. I want to start our discussion this morning with Prof. Right by me and Prof. Listening to. I want to start first with the EPA boss, Professor Kluche. Listening to her, I was very disturbed as a Ghanaian listening to her, and I mean, we all know how serious Galamsey is, but the enormity of what we are dealing with just was staring at me very wide in the face. I mean, what do you make of what we are learning from her in terms of what exactly happened?
Aka, yesterday when I saw the topics that we were going to talk about, I went to my wardrobe and picked EPA certificate. When I finished university, I did my national service at Koforidua EPA office. So I work with Mr. Otin, who is here director, and then Joseph. EPA's work and what is going on here, we are drinking palm nut soup as if it is light soup, which is very dangerous. Now, listening to the EPA boss who said that the longer we stayed, the more they came. So we had to run away. I've watched movies of no retreat, no surrender, but this is yes retreat, yes surrender. With all the military and then the national security with them, they could not stand Galamsey people who were armed and macho men. They had to retreat. And the sad part was the community pelting stone at them. Pelting stones at them. The whole attack started when they were at Dajuni. And from Dajuni, they had to go to Afari. It was the Afari that the accident happened when I read the story. The convoy team had to retreat. And who is going to crack the whip in this situation? The communities are compromised. The forest has been taken over. Now we have about 49 forests that we're struggling with that have been destroyed by Galamsey. We have a situation where we prescribe a lot of solutions. I have even stated that these Galamsey people are stakeholders. Because most people don't know that when we talk about internal stakeholders and external stakeholders, we even have the environment itself as a stakeholder. And who takes care of the environment? It's either the government or some NGOs that take care of the environment. So our environment is a stakeholder, and the environment is crying. If you look at the poison, lead is a poison. I know that was a big issue in Michigan when it came to elections. Lead that they found in the tap water was a big issue. That made somebody lose governorship there. Here, we have a lot of mercury being imported into the country. We have champagne not even being imported anymore, but it was being made in Ghana. We have these excavators coming in. Now we have the campaigns that once you try to, all these small boys that are being caught, the campaigns are there. Those behind these Galamsey are there. And then nobody seems to be working on it. But I have a lot of solutions that we've talked about. If we don't take care, this issue will escalate to understand that none of us can stay in the country because they are poisoning our water sources. We can't get good water to drink. The control rate, now I'm told that Dawa and a whole lot of things that we have have these cyanide and mercury in them. So we are poisoning ourselves. And why the community is supporting all these people, I don't know. But we should be careful, and the government should not, relax on this. The more they push back on us, we've lost people. Remember, we lost 8 people not long ago. The same Obuasi Road. And then it seemed not to slow down. So what do? We need to do a couple of things. Journalists have come in, they've injured themselves. Somebody will have to be flown to abroad to be treated on this. We need to grab the campaigns and use them as an example for everybody to see that the government is not joking with them. 2, we need to initiate a big push for alternative livelihood for those involved. Those in these communities, mining communities, that is all they know, mining. When I went to Obuasi, I was told that those who go to even the legal mining, the food that they eat a lot is emo and abenkwine. I didn't know. So anywhere that I go, I try to learn a lot of things. When they have the rice and then abenkwine, they can be there like 2 weeks or a week under, and they can survive. That is what they know how. That is what they do every day. That is the only skill set that they have. So if you want to take it away from them, give them another alternative source of livelihood. The government should be thinking that way, that what else alternative can we give to them so that this opportunity cost of going to do galamsey will stop. We need to find something for them to do. The other one is that we need to initiate a stakeholder discussion, as we started last time. And these galamseyers are also stakeholders. Let's invite them. When I was a morning show host, I did that. I think I've said it here. Yeah. That I invited the chainsaw operators. If you go to a Tiwa forest, and they were cutting the chainsaw, they were cutting all the trees. We invited them, and they said, this is our only source of livelihood. So the government said, if we give you something alternative to do, and they agreed, they did it. And the chainsaw operating stopped. So they were going to the Forestry Commission. Now, if you even have a tree in your own, farm, you have to go to the Forestry Commission. They will give you a permit. Then you can go and cut the tree. So that is the way we need to work with them. I'm also pleading to Nananom and Achinankonya. Nobody can come to your town or your land and mine without your knowledge. So Nananom should rise up. The way people are coming, not only the Nananom, but the elders, the unit committees, the MPs, the MCEs, the DCs, the assembly members, everybody, if you see something, say something. Because it is the water that you are drinking that is being poisoned. And if somebody is poisoning you and you are not saying anything, I don't know what kind of person you are. So we need to look at that. The other thing is that we need to make attitude adjustment as people. The way we've been looking at, look at EPA people doing their job, protecting your environment. EPA, even before you cite, when I worked there in National Service, before you even cite a fuel station, they will have to come and see the location and see whether it is convenient for, because we've had a situation when there was a rain and then there was a fire. You remember that situation that many people died. So EPA has been protecting our environment, making sure that we are safe. Those who are protecting our safety are those who are pelting stone at. What kind of people are we? So we need to make that kind of attitudinal change. Then everybody should know that galamsey is unacceptable. We should not accept it. I said it here that it is an atasa. And Kwame was asking me what atasa was. It is an abomination. It is bad. Everybody should see it as a bad thing, because in the long term, in the short term, and in the medium term, it is going to threaten our own existence. The way we are buying water now, if you buy the 15 mml of water at the park, 12, it is now almost 40 cedis. If you go for the other one, the rubber one, what do they call it? Not the penny, but the other one, the sachet water, is 10 cedis, 9 cedis, 10 cedis. Now, people who are earning 350, 500, in a month, how many of them can buy 40 cedis worth of water? That means they are going to drink the poisonous one and they will die. Let's think about those who don't have the opportunity as we have. That's what I always think about. Then the last point that I want to talk about, that we need a concrete effort, to make sure that once we see the wrong thing, we report it. But we should have a channel of whistleblowing, that we have these galamsey people at this area. The threatening part of what the EPA boss said was that the more we stayed, the more they came. They were coming from the bushes. They are there. Immigration should work to find out these people. NIMOS is doing their work, and I'm saying that NIMOS should be paid well, because we've seen situations where they were being, these Chinese people were trying to bribe them. Now, if you are not paying the NIMOS person well, somebody who is giving a better offer, they will take it. So it's a holistic approach that we have to make. But all Ghanaians, all hands should be on deck so that we cramp down on this illegal mining.
Let me come to Ebo now, and same question, Ebo. I mean, what do you make of all we are learning in the last 24 hours or so about what exactly happened in the Ashanti region?
You know, we just had the Naimos situation. What happened to the Naimos people? Then this time around, EPA, certainly, and in both situations, we were told that people were having guns, which means, more or less, Galamsey areas have become war zones, whether you like it or not. Once people are wielding guns and they are prepared to shoot, then more or less we are having a very serious situation on our hand. You see, I was asking myself a question when Prof was speaking. When she said, the EPA, we don't have guns. We had a few soldiers with guns, others were not having guns. I was asking myself, what kind of operation intelligence gathering went into this exercise? Because if you know you're going to go to areas like that, and we know that when it comes to Galamsey, people would want to resist, people would want to come out with guns and all that. Why is it that EPA had to go in isolation? Because I was thinking that EPA was working together with NIMOS. And therefore, when you are approaching such a situation, you should be well equipped because you should anticipate.
I mean, they had national security with them. They also had soldiers who were armed as well. But the soldiers were armed.
But from what she said, I mean, they were not enough to.
They were outnumbered, so they underestimated the.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That what kind of operation intelligence gathering went into this, because it is important that whenever you are approaching such things, you prepare. Because we don't have to joke with this situation now. I think it's getting out of hand. The fact that now they would want to attack, now they attacked military officers, they are attacking EPA, the next person, the next group of people they are going to attack, we don't know. And so I believe that from the way things are going, you see, personally, I have this solution. People cannot do Galamsey without excavators. Excavators cannot be hidden easily. So the first thing we need to do is to make sure we get into our forests, water bodies, get every excavator, whether it is said it is said, or they are saying it's going to be used for construction, whatever. Let's gather all excavators from these areas. That's the first, because there's no way they can mine or can do Galamsey without excavator. So let's target the excavators first. Now let's stop importation of excavators. Then let's also seize
mercury too.
Yes, and let's also seize excavators moving from Accra to the hinterlands. If you're able to get all the excavators out of the place, I mean, what are they going to do? They can't use cutlasses and hoes to do Galamsey. So we need to target those equipment first. And I believe the way things are going, you should be bold enough to suspend, if it becomes possible, I'm not a lawyer, if we are to suspend a portion of the Constitution to be able to solve this problem, we need to do it. Because this is a serious issue. They are killing us slowly. They are poisoning us slowly. Now they are fighting us. They are confronting us physically. So what are we doing as a nation? I believe that if we really want to solve this problem, if it becomes possible, I said this here some time ago, if it becomes possible, we need to suspend portion of the Constitution to deal with this issue, declare a state of emergency, and deal with this issue. If those areas, because of elections, let me bring in this point. You see, these people, they know politicians are afraid of elections. And so when they are doing it, they know that that fear of losing an election is always at the back of the politician's mind, and therefore they would want to do this with impunity. If it becomes possible that certain constituencies, we declare those areas, we declare state of emergency in those areas to the point that there's not going to be any election in those areas, so that when we are confronting them, there's no fear of losing election. We confront them, we confront and solve the problem there. Until the problem is solved, there's no election there, so that they will not use the election to blackmail the politicians. I'm telling you what happened with the Naimos people. The MP there probably is afraid because the people who have been supporting him. But if he knows there's not going to be an election in this area, there's no way you mind them. So we need to begin to think outside the box. the kind of solutions we've used over the years, I mean, the result is what we have. So why don't you now do something different, something very drastic, something very brutal? Because people say we shouldn't shoot and kill, fine. But if we shouldn't shoot and kill, what must we do to solve this problem? Because the people don't seem to care. They know, they themselves, they know that what they are doing is wrong. But the issue of providing alternative livelihood and all those things, yes, we can do all those things. But before we do that, what must we do immediately to solve the problem? Because it will take time to put together some of these policies to be able to solve the problem. But in the immediate, what are we supposed to do as a people? I think I'm sad. You see, there's a picture that I had from something that Erasmus Asadam said some time ago. Let me tell you, it has stayed with me ever since. He said, in those days, I mean, I don't want to, if I mention, but I can mention the year because he said it. He said between 2018 and 2019, one of the forests that was destroyed, the size of that forest is as big as Kumasi. And that's scary. And they destroyed it within a matter of 1 year. So if a forest as big as Kumasi could be destroyed within a matter of 1 year, can you imagine if you sit aloof, what will happen to this country? We're not talking about even poisoning the water bodies. The forest itself, which is our oxygen tank, if it is being destroyed at this faster rate, then what is the future for our children to come? So the point is, if it becomes necessary for us to suspend portion of our constitution, because this is war, this is a war situation, and therefore let's do what we would normally do if we are to confronted with a war situation as a nation. And so let's not romance these issues anymore. And the politicians should be bold enough. And I'm saying that if the certain constituencies, we say here, this year, there's not going to be election in these constituencies, because we know the Galamsey constituencies. If you can say no election in this area, people will sit up. And the MPs or the politicians will not be afraid. Then we can confront the situation, solve the problem once and for all. Then we can move forward as a nation. I mean, this is too much. I'm so saddened this morning. I mean, giving the story. I mean, a journalist will go, all that he has is his camera, pen and maybe booklet to go and cover so that we will know what is happening. EPA will go because they are mandated to make sure that we are protected. Our development is protected. They will go and do their work, normal, routine enforcement mission. Then suddenly it has turned into something else. I mean, we should be very furious about this. And I'm saying that, Mr. President, let's do something drastic about this. And if you are to suspend, and no political party, if it becomes necessary to suspend some part of the constitution and declare certain areas, that these areas, we are not going to have any election to solve the problem. No political party should come and make noise in this country. Because this is not about political parties. This is about the future of this country and the future of our children. Enough is enough.
Interesting thoughts there. Let me come to Senior now. And you have been a proponent of the infamous, if I can put it that way, shoot-to-kill approach. And it attracted a lot of criticism when you said that the first time. I think you've repeated it on some previous occasion as well. It both seem to fall short of saying that as the approach. I mean, but we are dealing with an enormous situation, and Prof was pointing to what Professor Kluche had said, that the longer they stayed, the more the people were coming, and basically our armed men had to run away.
Good morning. You know, I have been vindicated by statement I made about Ghana's gold deposits, that the entire country is covered in gold. Let me read something to you. Ghana is ranked 6th in the world with the largest gold deposit in the world. The World Gold Council 2025 Gold Demand Trends Report has disclosed. The nation is also ranked 1st in Africa with gold deposits of 140.6 tons. The report pointed out that Ghana is Africa's top gold producer thanks to the country's investment and improved artisanal mining regulations. According to the Ghana Chamber of Mines, gold represents about 40% of total export earnings, driving much of Ghana's economic stability. Akable, if this is where Ghana stands with gold, number one in Africa, why don't we want to put it in a better structure? Why? What is stopping us from saying, hold on, let's ban this thing temporarily for a certain duration of time and let's put it in the right format? I have suggested the agricultural way, cooperatives. And whilst you're doing that, you're changing the mindsets of communities, because after gold mining, it won't stop. Artisanal, small-scale gold mining, it won't stop. It's up to the country to structure it and structure it well to gain the kind of revenue that we require. And gold revenue has increased 2025. 2025. It goes to show we have surface gold, we have mid-surface gold, we have deep mine gold, and the deep mine gold is the best in the world. That's why you see, is it AGC, is that what they were called before? They were in Obuasi. They are mining gold in the north today. The entire country is covered in gold. Now, we are self-imploding. I remember 2017, when this whole water body galamsey started. Some of us said, very soon, these people will have arms, will have guns to protect their illegal work. Is it not happening today? Is it not happening today? And you're trying to tell me that these people, they are not prepared to kill. Is that what you're telling me? Are you trying to tell me that what happened yesterday, if they didn't take the move that they took, EPA, people would not have died, and we should do what? We should protect their lives? It's war. This is a war that we need to win. Me, I'll call them terrorists. What do you do with terrorists? And what is this thing about heavily built men? Everything heavily built men. Why are we scared of heavily built men? Is that what we are saying? That they can come in and do this illegality? No. No. Look, President Mahama has to be ruthless. If he decided at the time he made the statement that we don't need a state of emergency, today we realize that people can die. Look, the EPA boss could have been killed. Yeah. Could have been killed. For what? For protecting the environment? No. No. We cannot sit for just a minority of people to threaten 33 million people. We cannot sit. Threaten 33 million people in so many diverse ways. So many diverse ways. But the question is, the politician, what did Abu Babin tell us? What did Rutufo tell us? Look, I believe government should target chiefs. Any chief with galamsey in your area will target you. Iyoko should come for you as a chief and ask the why do you have galamsey in your area? Because we revere chiefs, and because we revere chiefs, they've taken advantage. Nobody is above this book, the Constitution. Nobody. Nobody is above the Constitution. Anybody who does anything ultra-vires in this country should face the law, and chiefs should face the law. If their own are not prepared to sanction, government should step in and sanction. 2017, we talked about this. At the time, water body, wasn't that much. But look at today. The second group of people who we should look at is customs. Customs and the ports. Do they not receive the excavators? Are they not supposed to monitor where these excavators are going? Why are we sitting? We need to be drastic. You are supposed to be a customs officer at the port. You don't make sure that you do what? You monitor where these excavators are going and all that. You see, I believe that we don't love this country enough. We don't love this country now. And I'll give you an example of, I just came back from Brazil. GMPC, we're trying to do some work with Petrobras.
You travel every week now.
They are mining. I'm working for Ghana. They are what do you call it? They are petroleum, what do you call it? National company. And you'll be surprised how Brazilians protect Petrobras. You try, they'll deal with you. Citizens, when you even walk the streets and you ask them, what do you think about Petrobras? This is our #1 company. Nobody should try playing with it. We don't love ourselves well enough. And unfortunately, the politics doesn't help us. How many times have I sat around this table and said that this thing should be handled collectively? I have said, President Akufo-Addo has experience. President Kufuor has experience. President Mahama has experience of Galamsey. Otumfuo has experience of Galamsey. Other big chiefs have experience. Why can't we sit around the table to find a solution to this problem? Why? What is it? And then you ask the question, parliamentarians, politicians, how do you fund your campaigns? You don't go into that. We sit. And what did we see the other day? What was that area where they said an MP went to cause Wahala?
Sutifi area.
Yes. It's a sign. Yes, they say you're innocent and proven guilty, but it's a sign. It's a sign. We cannot sit because for me, one of the major things is the water bodies. If for nothing at all, we should have emergency, on water bodies. You try, we kill you straight. Because UN sanctions, UN laws indicate that anybody who tries to do what? To destabilize water bodies of the country is war. So what are we sitting doing? Counting our fingers, clapping for these so-called macho men doing Galamsey. We need to face them squarely because it's gradually seeping down south. Even if it doesn't seep down south as Galamsey, the food we eat. And then by the time you get to my age, you've developed problems in your body. So, me na nebi oti crashing a yemi. No! Little drops. But again, those who bring in these chemicals, who bring them in? The mercury, the cyanide, who are those who bring it in? Who? For nothing at all. The border should be protected and protected well. That brings in immigration. So you see how there are so many affiliates to handle this particular issue called Galamsey. But we are twiddling our toes, we are twiddling our fingers just because some people want to make money. But tell me, how much money do they make? Those who are in the pits, how much money do they make? It's the financiers who make the big money. Have we ever, in this Fourth Republic, thrown a financier into jail? No. What does that tell you? I'm not serious about the situation. How old am I? It's my grandchildren. It's my grandchildren. Then their children will be deformed. Our health system too is not strong enough. You won't be able to handle the various diseases that would have emanated from Galamsey. It has to stop and stop now. Me, I'm still in favor of shoot to kill. It's a war. If you want shoot to kill, shoot to maim. Do you think this, gentleman with the pump action gun, if the soldiers who were with the EPA shot his leg, what would have happened? Will it not destabilize him? Will it not be able to arrest him? Will it not get information from him? Let's kill small. Do you think if you kill small, this thing will go on? Yes, it's a war. And we are even now getting foreign nationals coming in. The last one, they said Burkinabés were in there. All kinds of different, No, we cannot run this beautiful country like this. Okay. And I'll end by saying, this country, 3 things that can help our economy, that can take care of everybody in this country: gold, oil, cocoa. These 3 things alone can look after this country. Let's get serious. President Mahama, get ruthless with Galamsey. Don't stand any nonsense from anybody. You don't have an election to win. You are there to serve this country. Serve it, especially with Galamsey. Let it be a legacy. The way you ended Dumso, same way, before you leave, end Galamsey. Amen.
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 How can you preach and say amen at the same time?
Amen.
All right.
There's a part of the statement that Professor Kluche made that I thought was very important, and Senior made reference to the situation on the water bodies. She actually said that they decided to approach and stay a bit more in that area because they realized that the excavators were on the water bodies. It was on a river, actually. And she said that the destruction had been done to the extent that they had diverted the normal course of the water, and it had caused different parts of the area to be flooded. And so that caught their attention, and the people were actively mining in parts of that area as well. And so they decided to try and deal with the situation, and we all saw how everything played out there. Let me come to the MP now. And I mean, when the president spoke months back actually, when he spoke, he did indicate that we have to use our powers as we have it for now. And since then, there was an IGP task force. They were engaged in an operation. They were attacked. They had to fire multiple warning shots. They couldn't apprehend anyone. They just had to fire the shots to ensure that they were safe and get out of the area. We saw what happened with NIMOS. And the NIMOS one, the videos that are on social media, I mean, when I see them, I watch them closely. There's a part of the video, the soldiers were fleeing from the police station into a car. And if you watch that video, one of the soldiers was walking. Someone hit the soldier at the back. The soldier just quickly entered the car and sped off. Yeah. I mean, armed men, their cars were damaged. We see armed men running away. Yeah. Then yesterday, we saw what happened again. Pelting stones at them, they had to run away. I mean, clearly we have to take stock of where we've come, and the question that we need to ask the president directly is, do we still go the same way at this point in time?
Okay, so let me say good morning to the viewing public and to my colleagues here. What I'll say is that my heart goes out to the victims of the accident yesterday. It was regrettable. In fact, earlier, I was not seeing the nexus between what happened and the accident. Only this morning when I heard from Prof, then I realized that even the other vehicle was transporting equipment meant for illegal mining. So for that reason, I think that this was a regrettable incident. But I'll say that we have to commend media and commend all other stakeholders involved in this fight. And particularly important also, I think that the government, as a matter of urgency, need to establish a fund that will take care of some of these things in line of duty. This morning, I remember this day with nostalgic feeling in the sense that on 6th August, in the pursuit of ending Galamsey, we lost 6 gallant men in this country. And I thought that was enough for us to use it as their enduring legacy for the future. Ending Galamsey in memory of those who lost their lives. And if I see incidences like this, it simply tells me that there is still more work to be done. Look, the president, when he met the stakeholders, indicated that he is receiving briefings from National Security Task Force, and as and when they give him green light to declare a state of emergency, he will not hesitate to do that. So, Mr. General, I don't know whether the state at which the briefing has gone, but I don't have any doubt that when that thing comes, President Mahama will not hesitate to do that. But
it's time.
It's time, right?
It's time. So
I'll say that the last time I came here, I said that the issue of Galamsey is no longer an alternative livelihood pursuit. It is now a militia. Ordinarily, if the concept was alternative livelihood, unemployment, poverty, once this alternative livelihood program that has been instituted, you see a decline in youth venturing into Galamsey. As a member of parliament, I get constituents who tell me they want to go to Obuasi and other places from the north, because the driving force is not because they are poor or they are hungry. It is the pursuit of quick money. So it is now the test of survival to them. And that is why you see them carry weapons. And like my brother said, if somebody is carrying a weapon, it has only one intention, to fire. So if there is a chance of them now attacking all those institutions and stakeholders mandated by law to protect all of us, and this is the outcome that we are getting. And I watched the incident at Honorable College Dauda's constituency, and I realized that this whole galamsey is now endemic in our communities. The starting point is not government. The starting point is the community. As a member of parliament, we all are involved in land reforms in our various constituencies. And so for a galamsey activity to go on in a community, it has a tacit approval of the traditional rulers. It is never possible that galamsey activities can happen in a community where the chiefs are not aware. And when we started in January this year, the first thing the minister did was regulating the licensing regime, where now licenses are supposed to be obtained at the municipal and the district levels. That has representation of the traditional rulers. It also has representation of the unit committee and the assembly before even EPA and then mineral commissions come on board. That is the new licensing regime. Yet we still see galamsey going on. What it simply tells you is that whatever effort government is putting, they believe that the amount that they will make from illegal mining is more than whatever alternative program that you will bring. Yes, this morning we have all been viewing the impact it is having on water bodies, on the environment, and all those things. But, Senior, let's not also lose sight of the successes that we have chalked. We cannot say that things have not changed. Yes, you can't end this type of problem just by a week or two. These are survival issues. Look at Hamas and Israel. It started, then we thought it would end. Look at the number of lives. They had to take the Americans to intercede in bringing some level of solution to the issue.
Oh, no, but you can't compare the two.
No. I'm saying no. I'm saying that whatever the situation is, it will lead to loss of lives if you want to end it the brutal way. There are humanitarian issues, human rights issues, and all those issues that will have to be factored into that. I will never condone any act of galamsey, and every person that is involved in galamsey should be dealt with. But I'm saying that we're talking about the regulatory regimes that have been put in place. Do you know that, Prof? Now every excavator that you import, there's a policy at the Ghana Ports that says that no permit, no excavator imports. So even if you are using it for construction, you must have a permit, a certificate that shows that you are a contractor, number one. Or if you are using it for mining, you must have certification for Minerals Commission, EPA, and the ministry that shows that you are having legitimate mandate to carry out mining concessions. And that time, what they will do is that they code it. I don't know how they normally call it, but
they put
tracker. So everywhere the machine goes, we know. So now, if you had deployed it to Tamale for construction and the machine is moving to Kumasi, they will quickly call you. That is what is currently ongoing. But before the government implemented this reform, there were already existing excavators in the country. That is where we are now. Those ones, you don't have a lot of information on them. And let me be honest with you. In Finance Committee, when we were meeting Minerals Commission and others, I asked them how many excavators were imported between 2020 and 2024. Apparently close to 6,000 excavators. So at that time, Ghana Post has the number based on the declared values. But as to its whereabouts at that time, they could not tell. We have to also commend EPA strongly. Currently, government is spending a lot of money in land reclamation. And that is the impact of galamsey. Because the more you destroy the environment, it takes us more money to reclaim those lands. And let's also acknowledge also that currently the government is implementing the AI sensing system, where real data analysis is conducted at the ministries. So recently, for EPA, you said that she said they were getting updates from Accra. Now, they have spotted all the hotspots. There is an AI system that has been deployed that can quickly tell you activities that are going on at a particular site that is suspected to be illegal. Because when an activity is going on the site, the first thing they do is at the spot, they narrow it down to see if those concession is under a regulated or mandated license that was issued. That's the first thing. So if it is not, then that's when they deploy to NIMOS and other relevant agencies to tackle. So yes, the results might not be immediate, but at least some forest reserves have been retrieved from the illegal miners. And I will support any call. Look, anybody murder, the lawyers will say that when you kill, you are sentenced to, in fact, in the revolution days, it was tit for tat. But now you have to be taken through the law. But if somebody has a gun to kill you and you have the opportunity to defend, I think that we have to do that. And also, I want to support my brother from the UP party that suggested that UP Plus party. That's what it's called.
Yeah, UP Plus. United Party, UP Plus.
Okay.
For short.
So the point is that what intelligence level was carried out before the deployment was done. I think that it's important for us to know that. Because for you to go to a community, they must have been informed by intelligence. So if you go with some number and then they overpower you, in fact, it is not because of their retreat that saved them. They could have still exchanged, the miners, the illegal miners could have still gone ahead to shoot them. So it tells you that protective gears, properly armed officers should be deployed to this. These are not kid gloves. These are not minor issues. You cannot put the lives of people in duty without giving them the necessary protective equipment that they will use. So for that reason, I'll reach out, I'll personally follow this up and say that please, 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 let's not put the life of these officers in jeopardy for nothing, to die for nothing. It is not worth it. It is not worth it. Now, mercury, coming to mercury importation. Yes, I agree that I don't support total ban of importation of mercury because it has other uses, you know that. But we must, as a nation, do needs assessment to know the quantum that is required annually. That should be allowed. There must be some level of a ceiling.
You think we don't know?
No, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. But I'm saying that if we realize that it exceeds the thresholds, that's when regulation comes in. But to just ban it, I don't think is the way forward. Okay. And then my final point is that, look, the licensing regime needs to also be strengthened once again. Now, like I said earlier, communities are now involved. I want to say that if an illegal mining activities goes on in a community, the first person to be arrested should be the chief.
I said it.
Yes. Before the promulgation of the Constitution, custodianship of lands and all titles in various communities rested with the chiefs. In fact, it has inbuilt clauses in the Constitution that still gives them some level of power in terms of land ownership. So you cannot be a custodian and a protector of a land at the same time destroying it. If we arrest few chiefs, it will send a signal that, like Mr. Gentile said, no person is above the Constitution. If we set that standard, everybody will begin to know that we are serious. And let me also support once again, finally, that I will also support proposals that says that when you have excessive illegal mining in your community, you should have open confrontation and you should be suspended from participating in elections. This is because it is true. We are political people.
But do they care? They won't care.
No,
making money.
no. They will not care.
They won't care.
No, they will not care.
Yes.
But its reprisal impact on political party will be minimal. Because if I realize that, I saw a study by CDD prior to the elections that indicated the number of young people involved in illegal mining. that number was almost close to the number Dr. Baumia had. So it tells you that that is not a small population you should be told. That should be told with. So for political expediency, many political parties will dilly-dally with such issues just so not to be offended. Because if those group of people decide to sway away from your cause, you will never win power. But if we make a policy or a direction acceptable by all stakeholders, that for this reason, you need to be dealt with and you will be prevented from participating in national elections and all other public engagement, not only elections. You should be blacklisted, you should be declared as a security zone, and everything that we see as red flags should be tackled ruthlessly. That's what I would say about it.
I believe one question.
Yeah, sure.
Let me ask the Honorable. You're in Parliament.
Yes.
Do you know parliamentarians in Galamsey?
No, I don't know.
There's no parliamentarian in the Parliament doing Galamsey.
I am not from a mining community.
Irrespective.
So
you're saying parliamentarians themselves don't know.
No, how will I know they are in Galamsey?
You're trying to say they don't know.
No. We don't discuss issues like that.
Those doing it, they know. What did the speaker say?
What did he say?
What did the speaker say? He said, we know all you people doing Galamsey who are in the house. Stop it. Did he not say no?
Then he should have mentioned them. That is the best way to name and shame.
A quick one. A quick one. I was talking to a diplomat who told me that before he came to Ghana, he's a foreign diplomat, before he came to Ghana, two things they told him, that if you buy a land in Ghana, you are buying litigation. So you don't go buy land. And the second one is that know your enemies and draw them closer. So most diplomats who come to this country, that's what they tell them. You don't buy a land in Ghana because you are going to buy litigation. And two, know your enemies and bring them closer. So now we know that the Galamseyers are enemies.
Yes.
How do we bring them closer? In all my research as a professor, I've never seen any situation, war zones, conflicts, that have been solved by another violence. Yes, you can kill all of them. But some will rise up and do the same thing. Because if my mother has been selling weche for 40 years, most people travel abroad, they come back and continue to sell the weche of their parents. It's been a calling of the family. If my mother has been selling cocoa, they will now make it, well packaged. But they're going to do the same thing because
so some of your siblings are selling cocoa.
No, Kwame, I'm developing a case.
I seem to say it.
Prof, I'm with you. I see where you're going. Prof, go on. Prof, go on. Prof, go on for me. So I mean, no matter
what I was trying to say,
no matter what is done, it will just manifest in a different form.
Run through. If somebody's father has been a carpenter, you can see that they can now have technology adding to it, but they love that job, the first job that the food that we all grew up with, fufu and others. Even when we travel, I've been driving. When I was in Minnesota, Wisconsin, I was driving 2.5 hours just to get a tuber of yam to buy. Because that is the food that I grew up on. That's the point that I'm saying. But I'm saying this to mean that, look, we don't have to use violence to solve violent problems. Yes, I understand the chiefs and everybody involved. But what do we do to strengthen an institution like the NCCE so that they can go, be having the budget to go and educate the people? Sometimes some people are ignorant about the consequences of what they are doing. Don't we see all these boys with talisman and other than that they are protecting themselves, they have guns and that they believe if you shoot them, it's not going to even, kill them because they are protected. It is a source of livelihood. They live in those communities, that's what they do. So if somebody think that this is a militia, as Honorable was saying, yeah, I understand. We all have different perspectives. But I'm of the opinion that violence never solves a problem. Dialogue solves problems. How do we find a way, using common sense, that we call, because these are brothers, these are uncles, these are aunties, they are Ghanaians, they are citizens. They have gone the wrong way. I remember the story in the Bible about the prodigal son, see? And it's beautiful about a son who has taken inheritance from the father, gone to destroy it. And then when he comes, the father throws a party. But the other boy with the father said that, I have served you all my life, and you've not even killed a calf to celebrate me. But this, your son who went and wasted everything, and look at what the father said, that, look, everything you have, I have, is for you. You didn't have to even work hard to impress me as a father because it belongs to you already. They are citizens, they are Ghanaians. But they have gone the wrong way. They are deviants. The same way that if you have deviants, you see, please wait. The same way that if you have, I know you all want to speak, but the same way that, you see, you have deviants in our own families. Your children, we say there's Mensa in every house, right? You have your own children who can go astray and fight against you. But what do? We have the Absalons and the others. Let's talk to them in a way, in a stern way. Show them tough love. That yes, what you're doing, you want to survive. But you are surviving at the expense of the entire community. And that's a no. Okay. That is why you go to, the law takes people to jail. Why? Because the least bar is what they could not clear. You are not supposed to do A, B, C, and D. The Constitution is there to protect us. You are going ultra-virus beyond the Constitution. You are destroying our own existence. So stop it. Okay. Now, how do we do that? If you shoot and kill everybody, that doesn't solve the problem. But let's dialogue in a very stern way to find a way to solve it.
Okay. What's wrong? Yeah. Just a minute. What's wrong did the 8 do to die? What wrong did they do?
They didn't do anything.
But they died.
I had a friend in it.
Because of what?
I had a brother in it.
Because of what?
Because of what I'm saying.
EPA, what wrong did they do to get the pelting they got? What wrong did they do? And you're saying what? We should monocuddle them and say...
No, that's not what I'm saying.
I think you've made a point. The mindset is such that they are not prepared to change. Money has a strong pull.
I talked about something that if they wanted to shoot, they would have shot, right? When they were there. They didn't do that. So they have their conscience. They have their conscience to get them.
I think let's make it clear. We don't have to be romancing this issue.
At all.
I mean, this is not something that you need to be romancing at all. You see, we had Galamsey before, and we were not destroying our water bodies because it didn't involve excavators.
They are killing all of us, including you.
Before excavators came to this country to the mining sites, we were having a Galamsey, but we were not destroying our water bodies. So the main factor destroying everything is excavators. So why are we not targeting excavators? Because Shamfai is nothing without excavator. But they can still use, excavator without Shamfai and still do the Galamsey.
Okay.
So let's target let's target the excavators and get them out of those mining areas. 2, let's expand activities of NIMOS. And I don't think, because of what has happened, EPA should try and go to any other area with the same kind of force.
Yes.
They should involve NIMOS. We should expand NIMOS, put more money there, recruit more people there, and begin to do some of these things.
Okay, I want to ask a question first. When you keep doing something and getting results, and you keep doing the same thing, what results do you expect to get?
You get the same results.
Good. We have had series of activities from President Kufuor till now. We have had dialogues at all levels. Constituencies, districts, municipalities.
Not collectively.
No.
Not collectively.
No, I'm coming. You said...
Why do you like heckling?
Calm down. I'm saying that we have had dialogue. I'm not talking about a particular government.
Go ahead,
I'm talking about successive government has had engagements at all levels. It has still led us with a TB2 of about 14,000 levels. We have had prosecutions of both kingpins and the normal people. Some are rotting in jail. Yet we still get these stability levels and distractions. We had burning of excavators, burning of champagne machines, seizures and all those things, yet we still have this number of excavators in the site.
That's the reason why
we have had every government. I'm just telling you why diplomacy has failed us. I'm telling you that we have had all the government and President Kufuor till now, we have always had alternative livelihood program, always. The problem is that it's the opportunity cost. The person is looking at one option, giving him a daily of 5, 10,000, 20,000, as against a monthly salary of 5,000 or 10,000. The person is just doing opportunity cost. Which one is better? So alternative livelihoods done by all government. In fact, at a point, a certain president had to put his presidency on the line in a dialogue room. That was all stakeholders were there. When he did that, including traditional rulers and religious rulers. And then we have set up various task forces, NIMOS, Operation Vanguard, Operation
Galamsey, all of that.
All those operations has also failed. So I'm saying that you cannot keep doing the same thing and expect different results. The psyche of Ghanaian, look, let's not be deceiving ourselves. Every Galamseyan knows that the poison can kill. Every Galamseyan knows. Every Galamseyan knows that people are born with deformities. Every Galamseyan knows that the cost of treatment of water has gone high. Every Galamsey knows that what they are doing is destroying the very survival of the Ghanaian public. Yet they still do it. And I tell you that people in my constituency have approached me. Oh, since we've won, I haven't told them anything. Then I said, what do you want to do? The person said he wants to go and do Galamsey. So the motivation behind this, it is not because they are irrational. It is because they are greed. So greed, selfishness, and personal interest is what is motivating this thing, and not because they are not being talked to.
Do you eat meat?
Yes, I do.
You eat meat?
Yes.
What do cows do? We get meat from cows. Cows drink water. And if they drink this contaminated water, are you not contaminated? So let's sit and pussyfoot around.
There's a question I want you to address before we go. It's the community dimension. I want you to deal with it briefly for me. The community dimension. We are now seeing, so a lot of the discussion, we focus on the Galamseyers, but we are now seeing that they enjoy active support from the communities where they find themselves. In fact, in the instance that we've seen, the community members, ordinary community members, come to their aid. I mean, how do we deal with that dimension of the fight? Because if we are, no matter how armed these EPA guys were, they couldn't have fired into the community people, if the community, like what you saw with the NIMOS situation. How do we deal with that community angle?
Who do the community revere and listen to? Is it not the chiefs? So whose responsibility is it? The chiefs are seeing what is happening. The chiefs are seeing the community are supporting Galamseyers. Should the chiefs equally not call their people and say, guys, this thing you are doing is wrong, and if you try, we will sanction you? Have they done it? That is why I'm saying chiefs should be targeted. In their area, where there's Galamsey, they should be targeted. Iyoko and Co. should pick them up and ask them the question, why is your community doing what they are doing? The EPA boss could have been dead this morning. No fault of hers. She's working for Ghana. Those who went to them, the journalists, some have been what? Been injured. They don't have families. They don't have families. I bet the Joy FM journalist, his people are rushing to the hospital to go and see. Are these people going to pay their transport there? No. Let's stop pussyfooting around this thing. Ghanaians collectively should say this thing should stop. And I said, if we need to shut the country down for government to do what they have to do, let's shut the country down.
I support that.
All right. So that's all time would allow us this morning. This is a conversation that we'll continue to have until we get to the point that we all agree we are dealing with it decisively. Very unfortunately, we couldn't.
And I thought you were going to give everybody like a minute to say something.
Do and see where we can do that.
Yes.
30 seconds.
30 seconds. All that I wanted to say quickly was that nobody likes a stranger, but strangers are friends you've never met before. Before community will allow a stranger to be with them, then there's a reason why. I believe that, yes, today we talk about targeting, the chiefs. Some of the chiefs are doing well, and we need to say that some of the chiefs, like Otumfuo, has been talking about it openly, that, if he catches you as one of his paramount chiefs and you are doing this, you have to be dealt with at Menchia. That's a good thing. We encourage the other chiefs. Domahine has been doing the same thing. The other chiefs that have not come out, please, we need you to be on board. So that is why I started by saying Nananom Atinankunya. All of them are involved into this. The custom people who are allowing these machines to come, individuals, when you see something in your community, say it. Do not protect these Galamseyers against citizens who have been appointed to protect us.
Okay. So that's Professor Enoch Opoku-Antwi. Professor Enoch Opoku-Antwi is a governance and policy analyst. Also joining us, or who also joined us in the studio, is Ebo Bachman, Deputy Communications Director of UP Plus.
UP Plus, yeah, very important to add that.
He supports I'll come to you. And Kwame Janto also joined us, a legal practitioner, a member of the CPP, and energy analyst, and Ataisa MP for Sanerugu, who will wrap up for us finally.
Yeah. So 30 seconds. I also want to commend the legal representation that was made at the London International Arbitration Court that delivered us a good judgment, I think 2 days ago.
Yes.
We need to commend them. And overall, I want to urge the government to pursue the $190 million that...
You're bringing a topic we all can
No. I just want to Oh, 30 seconds. I have 30 seconds. So let me use my 30 seconds. So I don't want us to say that because the PDS deal was terminated, we still have to pursue the $190 million that was involved.
Yes, I think I saw a statement from the energy
presidency also has spoken about it.
They'll go after that.
Yes,
that is
you see what has happened.
No, but it's okay. It's okay.
That is one that we'll look out for.
To say about it, but I've kept quiet.
But you cannot talk about it.
You know this gloom and everything. We have some good news for you. We are going to do the first draw now. Those who have participated, we are doing the draw now. You have a chance to win 5,000 cedis now. And the draw is coming up on the screen. Hey, it should be my number. 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 You asked me whether I did it. Yes, I did it. You think I'm not participating? Be there. Let's see who the winner is. The winner here, 5,000 cedis. Okay. Hey, it's not my number. Unfortunately. So that's the number 233242563, and the rest, you know who you are. Congratulations to you if you won 5,000 cedis. There'll be a second draw where we'll also give out 5,000 cedis. Then there'll be a final draw where you win 10,000 cedis. So it's not too late. Me, I'm sad, but I'm going to participate again because there's 5,000 and there's 10,000. I think I won that. No, I want both. 10 and 5. That's a lot of money. But let's do some rap now. Let's do some rap. And as usual, I got this here. Those who want the biscuit, you're not going to get. But there's a way to get it. And what we are telling you is that peck up your day the Milky Way with a rich, smooth taste of Peck Milk Shortcake is pure delight. And this is where Mr. Janto always say, baby cancel, or take it like that. But yes, you can get this. And so this is it for our discussion segment. That's what my mom has been calling me since you said that. We'll take a quick break. When we come, we'll have sports, and we'll talk about that big game coming up on Sunday. Kumasi Asante Kotoko, the best team on earth, will be trashing us folk. We'll tell you all about that.
Beat them well.
Stay tuned.
Beat them well.